Hi everyone, my name is Tiffany. Welcome back, or welcome if you've never been here before, and welcome to Bridgerton Week on my channel. Today we're going to be discussing episode 2, Off to the Races. If you missed my intro in the last video, basically the gist is that there will be timestamps below for as long as I'm able to keep these structured. I'm trying to be an organized queen, but I can already see that crumbling with my thoughts on this episode. So I would like to start this out by doing a rundown of all of the poignant events. So let's get into it, because now that Edwina is this season's diamond, she's got suitors lined up at the door, and Kate has now spilled the tea on why Anthony has not made his way onto her list. Yet he shows up anyway, requesting to take Edwina to the races, and he is quickly denied because Kate is now well read. She's current on all the reporting on his reputation, and Lady Whistledown has informed the entire ton that she is the gatekeeper when it comes to Edwina. So we have the Featheringtons getting used to the new lord and his American decor, and Colin has returned from his travels just in time for the Bridgertons to make a united front at the races so Anthony can make his move, which he does very well. Anthony gets a brief moment with Edwina that is overshadowed by Kate scoffing at his choice to win, which is a well-made assessment because she is well-researched, okay? And of course her pick wins and she can't help but gloat, and his time with Edwina is cut short when Kate suspects that he planted Dorset to distract her. Now, at the races, Eloise is hot on Lady Whistledown's trail. She's convinced that she's figured out who the printer is, and Penelope tries to throw her off the scent and isn't really successful. So Eloise follows that lead to the printer and into a meet-cute, dead end, and possible new interest. We also have Kate and Edwina, Danbury called to the palace, and there we learn that the queen is planning to use Edwina in order to ferret out who the true identity of Lady Whistledown is. Later on at Lady D's, they're planning a soiree where Kate intercepts Anthony trying to see Edwina again, and where Anthony, makes it known that she may not like him, but this should be about what Edwina wants. Later, Anthony figures out that he hasn't been invited to the soiree and he plans to crash it, but he needs the help of Benedict, who is slanging prose like effortlessly. I loved that. And Anthony ends up coming as himself as opposed to a poet and vowing to always be a man of action when it comes to Edwina. And for the first time, Edwina pushes back on Kate and defends Anthony's honesty. Lady D tries to dissuade Kate on her plans for a lonely future, and Eloise is still hell-bent on finding out who Lady Whistledown is, which leads to Penelope getting caught by the modiste, and the queen's spies have spotted Penelope as well talking to Edwina. So that is where we're at. I am ready to discuss my thoughts on this episode, and we have got to start with Anthony and Kate at the races. I absolutely adored that scene. I love how everybody but Kate is interested in his favor. I mean, he's the Viscount. The Bridgertons as a family is highly regarded and respected. And so I just love that she is willing to push against his logic, and she gets right underneath his skin. I love the heated moment between them. You think about it too much and you think far too little. Okay, I love the argumentative foreplay between them, okay? And also, about the races, is it just me or was everybody but Mary Sharma there? I was just kind of wondering, where's Kate's stepmother at, okay? And I think that kind of persists in the episode because, I know it makes sense that she's not at the palace, okay? The queen calls Edwina and Kate. She's not very fond of Mary and how, things went down during her season. I get that. But I don't even think I saw her at the soiree for Edwina, because I think that that's interesting, because one thing that I love about the books is that Mary is such a caring stepmother, and I would love to see that play out in terms of a positive portrayal of a step parent on screen. I think that that would be beautiful. So I'm not sure if like Lady D and like Kate are gonna be the ones to take the reins here, but she already seems like a little absent, not too much. I saw her planning the soiree with Edwina. We see her in the beginning of the episode looking at the list of suitors. I'm just saying that my hope is that they use her, because it would be a missed opportunity if they didn't. Let's see. I cannot help but notice the parallels between Kate and Anthony's actions last season, okay? They have both been overbearing when it comes to their siblings' matches and righteous in the steering of their family's futures, okay? Although I do think, Anthony just came off as an ass last season. In this one, he is absolutely getting his cock-blocking karma with Kate. And it does feel as though it's more protective than pig-headed, but the result is still the same. Edwina is not being heard. And so I think that is why I did enjoy when Edwina kind of pushes back on Kate and tells her that, his speech doesn't make him the wrong man, it makes him the honest one. I did like that moment for Edwina, and it's also sort of a troublesome moment for me as a reader, because I don't want to see Edwina hang her hat on Anthony for any other reason than duty. I really enjoy from the books how Anthony's just one of many suitors, So if they go the route for Edwina in the show as if she's picking him because he's the best possible choice for her and her family, that makes sense to me. But I feel like they're going in the direction of her developing feelings, and that is just gonna lead to her heart being broken because he can't reciprocate those. I'm just not, I know I said that in the last breakdown. I just don't want a sisterly love triangle. I feel like it's low-hanging fruit in terms of drama, and I don't need that to be entertained by this show. Please be kind in the comments. I am not saying that the show is going there. If you've binge watched the show and great. I am only going off of episode 1 and episode 2. I'm choosing to watch it slowly, and I'm just giving you my hopes for the show and the choices that I hope that they make, because I can't help but look at it through the lens of the books and note that Julia Quinn was able to move away from the sisterly strife and still come out with a compelling story. So although I don't need the show to depict what's on the page verbatim, I do hope that it reflects that sentiment, okay? So in terms of Edwina, I would like to see her choose duty over love. That's all I'm saying, okay? Now, I loved his monologue, okay, of him choosing to come as himself and not necessarily a poet, and vowing to always be a man of action when it comes to her. I loved that moment because it's definitely noticed by Kate. You could see it on screen, and I loved that. I was also heartbroken for Penelope when Colin pushes her further into the friend zone, basically saying, you're not like other girls, and it ain't endearing at all. That cut me. You don't count, Penelope. Oh my gosh, that gutted me for her. It stung so bad. Another standout moment for me in this episode was Lady Danbury's freaking monologue, okay? She said that. You are not me, little girl. Oh, I loved how she talks about how she has lived a life. She has loved. She has earned the right to do whatever she wants to do. And that Kate will never be able to embody that if she keeps going down the road that she is going. I watched that about 4 or 5 times, honey. Okay, because I just aspire to have that kind of knowing within life. Oh, I ate that freaking monologue up. I absolutely loved it. I also enjoyed Benedict in this episode, just the creative and artist that he is, and the fact that Anthony, he kind of does a double take to his own brother, and he's like, wow, I loved that for him, and I loved that moment between them, and also how it's noted when they're doing the fencing that Anthony refuses to pick someone else because he wants to win. Why should Kate get in the way of what he wants? And so I just love how that aspect is like bound up in it. I thoroughly enjoyed this episode, okay? It is not at all book accurate, and I still was living. I think the entire make and model of this episode are creative liberties. I will say I love Eloise on screen and her sentiments about coming out. I'm just not really down for her storyline. Is that what it's all gonna be? Just her trying to figure out who Lady Whistledown is? I don't know if I'm like interested in that. I don't know who this Newsy is, okay? I know who's in the game for her, so I don't mind her having, you know, a little Regency jaunt, but it is gonna end in heartbreak. So we'll see how that wraps up. I do like how the show is trying to continue to make Penelope's storyline as Lady Whistledown compelling, as she has, you know, multiple elements coming at her and her trying to buffet that. I, again, want to see her stay ahead of the curve and make smart choices along the way. I want them to respect her prowess, and I hope that that goes well. You know, she's my favorite character. So we'll see how this shapes up. I'm liking what we're getting so far. I am going to release episode 3's breakdown tomorrow. I'm about to go in there, like, as I'm filming in this point in time, I'm about to go hit the couch and watch episode 3, and I will be back with my thoughts tomorrow in your timeline. This is so like Back to the Future being on YouTube. Like, I'm so used to being in my stories on Instagram, but I want to thank you for joining me. I hope I see you in the next, and happy freaking watching. Let's discuss in the comments, because at this point I have seen everything. So I'm interested to see how you guys feel about it. Okay, I will see you in the next.